There isn't enough Adderall to set that man straight.
Speaking of old, Ozzy Osbourne had his last concert last night.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
that would be the next thing. It'd be a mixed boy band, essentially.
Just a giant gender-neutral jellyfish up there.
Let's do it, Ed. All right, everybody, we're here. You know it's us. We're doing our thing. You know, it's the day after 4th of July.
Yeah.
And feeling it, you know. A lot of new stuff.
A lot of things are out.
In this coming month of July. We've talked about some of it, and there's some stuff now that we haven't discussed on the streaming sites. One being Sandman 2.
Sandman dropped silently July 3rd.
Now, they said they actually canceled the show after season 1 was done presenting itself and recording, but they were smart enough to be
trouble with Neil, right?
Yeah. They were smart enough to be in pre-production before they were done with season 1 to start into season 2, and the ratings were fantastic. Everybody loved the show, but for some reason,
it was a great fucking show.
Netflix dumped it, but not without a season 2 going into a finale of the show.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that it was done right. I hope that what happens is sometimes the cast and the directors and the writers they're like, you know what, fuck it, we're done.
Hopefully they had enough time to shift to make it a proper ending.
Yeah, but the main writer was still on the show, so that's always a good look that he cared about it being done right the first time.
We saw what they did with The Witcher.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
But they do have someone at the helm, I'm saying, that cares. The main writer from the actual comic book itself is involved with it. So I'm hoping that he made sure that there was some integrity into the making of Sandman 2, because Sandman 1, season 1 was really good. I really did enjoy it.
The one diner episode, that was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was a fucking
it did its job.
Dark show. Like, I'd never seen teeth for eyes before.
The fucking Corinthians,
and
bro.
I do not like it.
Jesus.
But,
great character.
Yeah.
They got source material, and the source material being a comic, they also have some of the visual. They basically have a storyboard.
Sure.
So, it should be a little easier to translate to a screenplay to then make episodes out of. But,
Yes.
You would think.
We've seen shit happen.
Yeah. We've seen, years and years of fantastic writing sitting on shelves.
Plenty of Marvel comics you can read.
And it's also, we get to the point where it's like, hey, people, stop telling us the same story.
Yeah.
We can use some new characters. We can use some new stories. I'm hoping it looks this way with Superman. We don't need the whole origin story.
No.
We know who the fuck Superman is at this point.
Yep.
We could jump into it. And that's what they are doing with the X-Men, according to sources about Marvel, is that they're going to just jump into the X-Men thinking hey, you guys already know the X-Men.
Yeah.
We don't have to tell that same old story. And they're doing 2 interesting premises. One being the X-Men Academy, where it's going to be, they were going to just make it like Marvelous.
High school drama.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But they're going to go back to, you don't have to watch all the TV shows to see the movies.
Yeah.
Which is a cool idea. We've discussed that in the past, right?
It's very anti-Disney.
It's very anti-Disney, but it's here's a TV show that stands alone. It's in the world. It's about the X-Men. High school kind of drama. These are the next X-Men coming up to bat.
Yep.
So you'll get cameos from the characters you love, new characters being introduced.
And new characters we don't give a shit about.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, that's how you gotta do it.
Goldfinger.
It'll
Don't
be
tell me his power. I don't want to know his power.
It'll be a test bed to see which characters are worth giving a movie.
Yes, yeah. There are some useless powers out there. I watched this one British show I fucking died laughing because the kid's superpower was he can turn into a cat. But when he turned back into a human, he would forget that he can turn back into a cat.
Oh, boy.
And when he was a cat, he would forget that he's a human. It would be like happy accidents that he turned back and forth until, he finds a girl.
What a horrible power.
It's the worst power.
Yeah,
It's a terrible power.
Yeah, they're not sharing memories, so it makes it completely useless almost.
Yeah, but what was even better is the only thing he could remember about who he was his screen name. And it was like Dick Danger 3000, so that's what everybody called him in the show. Like he didn't have a name. Like, hey Jack, they're like, hey Dick Danger. You know, he's like, yeah, that's me. I was like, that's kind of fucking hilarious.
There was an X-Men character whose ability was to explode, but he did not have an ability to live past the explosion.
That's a shitty power, bro.
Yeah,
that's a shitty power.
I believe it's a one-shot comic.
Yeah.
Did he ever use his power?
I believe that's how it ends.
Yeah. It's a 1-episode comic book. Yeah. And
how do you figure out you have that power?
He makes it to the mansion because he has mutant abilities. They can tell he has mutant abilities, and then when they look into it, like, oh, don't ever use your mutant abilities.
Exactly.
Don't activate said ability. So in this same show, there was another guy who his power was he had the power to make anyone orgasm with a single touch. With a single touch. So he's constantly like being hounded by like women knocking on his door, like, hey, what you doing? He's like, you want me to touch you, don't you? Right? But he's a hopeless romantic. So he walks around with like oven gloves. And he's like, I don't want anybody to touch me. I don't want to touch anybody. Like, I don't want anybody to use me for my power. But she's like, but you're saying I can have the best orgasm of my life with a single touch, and you don't want to touch me? So she's like dating him for 4 episodes, and like every time he turns around, she's like trying to sneak a touch on the back of his neck. I'm like, it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. I gotta find the name of the show for you guys because it's so fucking stupid.
It's understandable though.
That it's hilarious.
That's how it would be. It would
absolutely be that. Like, and then there's
that guy wouldn't be able to go anywhere.
Yeah,
it wouldn't matter what he looked like.
No, you just, bro, you can make so much money. You can make just
$20
sit down in your fucking like tidy whities and just be like,
who you are. I don't care who you are. 20 $20 a touch. Line out the door. We'll come in.
Clean up aisle 4 next.
Guys, girls, doesn't matter. Going over. I'm touching you.
Oh man! So another thing that I was watching online was the next phase of Marvel. So going back to like, the X-Men.
Who's in it?
Right. So they're thinking about bringing on the Annihilator as one of the big bad main villains. They're gonna go 3 routes with Marvel moving forward.
I'm gonna sound like a Marvel noob here.
Annihilator's the green guy with the big wings.
Annihilus.
Yeah, Annihilus. Yeah. Thank you. That's the proper way of pronouncing it.
Demon-esque character.
Demon-esque? Where the fuck does he come from?
Yeah, he's like a cosmic level threat.
Okay.
Annihilus.
Does he have like that race of alien bugs or whatever?
That's Annihilus. Yes.
Yeah, I believe he has his own little group of minions.
Yeah.
Big old green demon looking dude.
Yeah, kind of like dark side type monster things.
Kind of like a Wish.com Dormammu, right? Yeah. Yeah. He's got that vibe going for him. Yeah. All right. They're bringing back Anthony Majors to play Kang. They're going to restore his character after everything went away.
Oh, yeah.
Time has passed, and they're like, oh, wait, you didn't do it. Oh,
it's funny how the time passes.
They bring people back. Yeah.
I heard a rumor. It's just a rumor, but whenever there's rumors, there's usually some truth to it.
Yes.
That Brock Lesnar is going to make a return to
really?
wrestling.
I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
They said he's just going to show up at an event and just unexpectedly
see what happens.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, he had some pretty serious allegations against him.
Oh,
but now that the smoke settled.
Yeah,
some Dick Danger allegations against him.
We don't entertain any ideas that people that hang out with Vince McMahon, or that were around him were decent people.
You don't
entertain. Yeah, you don't entertain the idea. So it's like,
But what's funny is like in every corner of every industry, there's a freak off happening.
Yeah,
there's a Diddy in every industry.
Yesterday, I was at the July 5th party.
Yes,
that I was at, and like they had a slip and slide set, like a 100-foot slip and slide with flip cup at the bottom. They had kids soap and water and shit, and he bought 2 cases of baby oil. I was like, bro, it's too soon. There was so much baby oil on his grass. I was like, dude, your grass is gonna be dead for months.
That shit is gonna burn. You might start a forest fire.
And kids don't know any fucking better, so there's just like little kid running around, and she's like spraying baby oil on everybody. She's like, it makes you go faster. I'm like, God damn it, kid. I'm like, you have no idea. Like, I'm laughing my ass off.
The implications that are happening right now.
This one little girl, she could have been older than 6 or 7. She dumped an entire bottle of baby oil over top of herself.
Oh my god!
Like she was just. And then shooting down this slide.
Of course, they're enamored with the fact that they could slip and slide.
You got 100-foot slip and slide.
Yeah.
You're trying to get to the end.
Yeah.
She did. She was basically a fucking seal. I was like, all right.
Not a Navy SEAL, but
not a Navy SEAL, but a fat Arctic
seal.
mammal.
Yes. So speaking, how do you transition from that? But fucking, all right, yeah, okay. So they are also
nihilists.
They're gonna go 3 routes, is what they were saying. They're gonna go cosmic, Marvel. They're gonna go mutants, heavy.
Okay.
And then they're gonna go into the dark side, the demons and the witches and things.
That's where Jon Snow's character comes
of
in.
Marvel. So they are, and Blade and things like that.
And Black Knight.
So they are gonna touch base onto a more darker side of Marvel, which I'm happy to see if they finally can get that off the ground. Blade. Yeah. And,
well, I mean,
other
we
characters
know Blade
like that
should have been coming for a long time. You got Doctor Strange running around. You got magic popping off in Ironheart. I mean, they're clearly, Wanda and all that. They're leaning into trying to bring more of the magic into everything they're doing. So, I mean, to just drop it cold would be a little odd. Yeah.
Did anybody else see the last episodes of Ironheart besides me?
I think I got an episode and a half left.
You stopped at 3?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. The last episode, and they did tend to do this a lot, was very good. But for one reason. They finally bring in, may I spoil?
I already know. Yeah,
they bring in Mephisto. And it's Borat. And Borat is fucking amazing. He is the perfect person to play the devil.
What, Sacha Baron Cohen?
Sacha Baron Cohen is the perfect fucking devil. For that alone, if you skip, and you don't need to watch 4 and 5.
Facial structure alone does match.
Facial structure.
Guy.
but bro, his creepiness
and he's a fantastic
is
actor.
so goddamn good.
But I'm like, do I really want to watch this fucking show just to see that?
Just skip. Go. You don't have to see 4 and 5. I'm telling you. You could go right to 6. Last episode's great because the Hood finally takes final form. Ironheart takes final form.
I mean, the girl keeps fucking up and not doing the right thing.
Yep.
The suit AI keeps fucking up and not kind of doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And all the people's abilities that they're supposed to be good at, the fighters are doing shitty fighting against tiny little human girl. Bomb girl almost blows her. I mean, it's
why would you design a fucking AI that fucks things up worse?
I don't understand.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if you had like ChatGPT and you put like, hey,
we're actively doing it. Yes. I can't imagine it. I
was going to say, call Elon Musk. Can we get him on the phone?
Have you seen your Instagram feed?
I'm gonna tell you though.
It is not making world peace.
Imagine if you had an AI and you punched shit into it and said, "Here, like, do my assignment," and it just fucking did it wrong.
Oh, there are way too many. Hey, Natalie, help me, and non-responses of like your AI is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
The level of smugness that Sacha Baron Cohen brings to the table is applaudable. I'm just happy that he's in the universe. And the way that he is in the universe.
I'm fine with Sacha Baron Cohen as...
Yeah. I take him out of Ironheart. You could have just did like a 3-minute cameo of just like him. And I'm like, I'm so good. He's the Crossroads demon right now. Have you ever seen Supernatural?
No.
Okay, so Supernatural, I know you've seen Supernatural. This is a show that I probably watched like 14 seasons of. And this is back when seasons were like 40 episodes, an hour long each. You know, like it's that shit that you could build a character with. And there was a Crossroads demon, Crowley.
Yep.
And he's the motherfucker. He's the art of the deal. He is the devil like Donald Trump. He's gonna sell you some shit, knowing like a genie, like the evil genies, like, hey, what do you want? And he's like, I'd like to die wealthy. Cool. And he drops like millions of dollars in gold on you and you're just dead. You know what I mean? Like that kind of a deal.
So Wishmaster.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It's like you get what you asked for, but you're not going to be happy about it.
You're not going to be happy how you get it. Yeah. So Mephisto plays that by the time they get to the end with the Hood, and the Hood is like, but you promised me this and you promised me that. He's like, first of all, watch your tone. And he's just like, and then he just comes back. He's like, I gave you all the tools you needed. I'm like, oh, he killed it. He did it on a level almost like The Boys, where the guy has that, like he's smiling for the crowd, and then he could turn around and like murder somebody.
No, what the fuck is that actor's name? The fact that he hasn't won a Golden Globe yet is
silly.
A fucking crime.
It's silly.
His portrayal of a sociopath.
I believe
he's evil personified.
I believe he's had a few incidences outside off screen, and that
he's literally a psycho.
That may be like why they're avoiding giving him. I
could see it, but the same thing was with
he beat the fuck out of a chef in Europe.
He probably deserved it. He probably deserved it. He's like, did you just make me quail dick, bro? I told you I don't need dick. I don't need quail dick, and he fucked him up. I'm with it. But the same thing could be said about Joaquin Phoenix. Unstable.
Oh yeah.
Amazing actor.
Yep.
A lot of the weird ones are.
Yeah,
I mean, he gave his Oscar acceptance speech for Joker, and I was like, dude, there's not a coherent thought in your head. Like, you're just out there.
It's crazy. It's like what we said about the guy from Star Trek, where when you watch him act, you're like, man, what an amazing put together human being. And then you watch him in his real life, in his robe and his cigar, and he's singing show tunes to answer questions. You're like, this motherfucker's crazy.
He's on a different planet. He is not here on Earth.
There isn't enough Adderall to set that man straight.
I don't know. I tried to get an Ironheart. I really wanted to watch it, but like,
I get it.
This one guy's review was so bad. He's like, I made it 4 minutes into that piece of shit. He's like, I started watching it. He's like, and I saw a fucking green-haired, gender-fluid goblin. He's like, I turned that shit right the fuck off. I was like, God damn, dude, what the fuck? He's like, as soon as I saw whatever the fuck that was, I turned my television off. Nope.
Honestly, his performance at the end, even the Hood's performance at the end, made that. I'm not saying the show is good. I'm saying made that episode good. It made that episode good. So,
but I mean, again, it's not that any of the performances are bad. It's the story.
Yeah. A lot of plot holes.
That's lacking.
Yeah. There was a lot of things that happened that left me wondering some of the things we talked about last time, and I'm like, I just don't get it. And they try to explain some of it away. She's like, why would I reach out to Shuri to tell her that I'm a piece of shit and I got kicked out of MIT? I don't need them. I could do it on my own. We're like, yeah, that's, you can reach out for a friend that would help you.
He just wasn't a good look, you know?
Yeah.
You're a black main character and you got her fucking stealing and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, bro.
And that Iron Man suit sitting in the closet.
It's like you guys kind of went to war together. Generally, that bonds people.
It does.
Those become the people you reach out to.
You form like bonds that can't be broken due to your experiences in combat.
And like you said, a Tony Stark level genius would be welcomed into Wakanda.
Yeah.
And she would probably get the proper mentorship that she needs.
I guess she's not Tony Stark level genius.
But I mean, it's also like
he built it in a cave.
Why isn't
the box of scraps?
Again, S.H.I.E.L.D. should be watching her. Wakanda should be watching her. She's dealt directly with their technology.
Yep.
They have to have an agent or two in the neighborhood fucking watching her. That's all they do with everybody else. So why would they not do it with her, who started an international incident with a whole nother hidden country?
Yeah, Peter Parker does shit in his bedroom, and like you telling me this girl can't do shit at MIT? Are you out of your fucking mind? Like I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. So it's a dumbass presence.
There's another thing that they're saying as far as after the Secret Wars. They say the Secret Wars is going to present two things depending on how well it does in the box office. Eddie said it before. It would either be a complete reset.
Yep.
Of the Marvel Universe, starting with the X-Men, introducing the mutants, and then it would be the mutants and the Fantastic Four, and then moving forward with new characters leading into the next stages of Marvel. Or they're going to see the success of Secret Wars, correct any wrongs that they make. It's at the end of the month, I believe.
Or the 29th. One of them.
I think Superman is first.
Superman's the 11th.
Superman's first, and then Fantastic Four is at the end. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're already trying to tell. I've been telling people to buy tickets for like the last 3 weeks. Like, I'll wait. I'm good. I'll see when everybody else is going.
Yeah.
I hope people embrace it. I hope people embrace it, and
it could be a good thing because I mean he has not done us wrong.
He has not done anything wrong yet.
No,
so I don't expect it to be bad.
Even Creature Commandos was fucking good.
It was great.
I went in thinking I'm not gonna like this. This is kind of corny, and by the end of the first episode, sold.
Yeah.
It was. They
really made Clayface terrifying.
Yeah.
Creature Commandos made Clayface absolutely fucking terrifying.
Mm-hmm. And I think
I'm like, oh wow. Definitely probably the scariest Batman villain. Wow. I thought it was going to be Killer Croc or Bane. No,
and the guy, I believe the Clayface in there is the guy that also plays Clayface in Harley Quinn. So the laughable ha-ha Clayface is being played by the guy that also played the homicidal.
Yes. That's amazing.
Literal walking
nightmare.
nightmare.
Alan Tudyk from Firefly.
And Clayface beats the shit out of like the one dude and then also beats up Frankenstein at the same time.
Yes.
Like Clayface is a monster.
Yeah,
like,
as he should be.
How does Batman deal with him?
With enough preparation time.
Prep time.
Prep time, bro. You don't know about prep time? You don't know about that prep time.
Well, the guy from Creature Commandos, the main character, the gray-haired dude,
yes,
is supposedly the bad guy in the new season of Peacemaker.
He is. He is.
It's live action.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's gonna play the character he plays as a cartoon
Because he's
in
the
real
father of the character that Peacemaker killed in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
No, it looks good.
It's all connected.
He actually played in one of the Marvel movies before.
He was
as well.
Captain America,
It's Buddy.
the second one.
Yeah, and Civil War.
The elevator fight scene.
The elevator fight scene.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Hail Hydra.
Frank Grillo?
Frank Grillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who it is.
So I think there's some good stuff coming down the pipeline. I did finally see the Predator cartoon. Very good.
It was solid.
It was very good.
The weakest one was the final one, but
yeah.
still.
Yeah,
still
but
good.
it was still pretty damn good.
It was still pretty good.
Yeah.
I just didn't, when the kid's like outside the plane hanging onto the wing, I'm like, come on.
Yeah. There's no way that's
Come on,
happening.
man.
Yeah.
We know
You ain't hanging onto the wing.
Yeah.
we know how that works. We've unfortunately seen it in real life.
Yes.
It doesn't end well.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
does
yeah.
not.
It doesn't. It doesn't end well at all.
No, you die.
You dead, bro. And
die.
you got a hammer to fix it? He's out on the wing with like
I mean, props to him. He shot down alien aircraft with a P-51 Mustang. That's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. But it was good. The first two fighters for sure. The Ninja Assassin and the Viking, those were dope.
Yeah, seeing that Predator in ancient Japan was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. I thought that the Predators, though, they kept their technology somewhat in a fair level of a fight with who they're fighting with.
They would try to, but like if you have guns, like they'll still go over. Like I don't know.
Like this is our gun equivalent.
Yeah, they're like no scoping you, like.
Well, no, they're gonna kill you if they can.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna give you like the fairest chance. But like if it comes down to it's just you and them, and you're injured,
Yeah.
and they have all these tech weapons. Sometimes like they have their sense of pride. That's why in the first movie when he's fighting Arnold, he sees Arnold laying there bleeding, and he's injured, and he's like, I could kill him right now. Like, I could literally end it right now. He's like, but what the fuck's the fun in that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's the last one left.
It's about the hunt.
I want to earn this.
Yeah.
So they fight him on equal playing fields, which still isn't equal playing fields because he's got the blade. Like he's not getting rid of that. Like he's still keeping.
That's a part of his person. Yeah, for sure. No, but it was very good. The pilot episode was decent, but I understand they needed him for a plot point to escape. But they could have went a different route a little bit. I would like to see like a knight in there. Like a knight, a samurai, and a Viking fight on some predators. Fuck yeah.
And I liked how they were different. Like the Viking one was this large, powerful predator that they referred to as the Grendel.
Yes.
And then they didn't know what the hell the one in the Japanese one was.
No, that was like
evil,
a stealthy,
evil, fast-moving ninja predator. It was very, very scary.
Yeah, he's seen him use smoke to like get around, so he's like, I will use my invisibility. Like you, bitch. That's fucking cheating.
Not quite equivalent, sir.
Use what you got.
But I also liked how the characters stayed true to who they were, even down to the end. Like the Viking bitch was like a savage. There was zero talking to her. Zero.
Yeah, right up to the end.
Right up to the end. The samurai was just all about honor.
Yep.
And he's what kind of wrangled in the Viking lady, because not only was he honorable, but he had the skill set that she could respect.
Yeah.
Whereas like the kid in the fucking wife beater with the military techs that flew planes, they didn't even know what the fuck he did. She's like, be gone, little bitch boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And none of them can talk to each other.
No. He was like,
none of them can even talk
he's like,
to each
if
other.
you talk to an idiot, you are idiots or some shit like that. And then he starts to meditate.
Yeah. Yep.
I would like to see some live action shit where it's like predators going throughout time. Oh, did you notice at the end who was inside the tank?
The girl from Prey.
The girl from Prey.
The girl from Prey is in the tank.
So they kidnap those that kill predators throughout time.
And they take them out when they want to actually test them again.
Yeah. So
Predators are always obsessed with that. They're obsessed with like not only becoming better hunters and killers, but they like the best challenge.
Yeah.
Which is why the whole alien versus predator thing happens, because they look at the xenomorph as the most dangerous prey in the whole universe.
Yeah.
So that's why they hunt it.
You know, funnily enough, there were 0 Batmans in those chambers.
Right.
He does fight the Predator in the comic books.
I believe Batman could kill a Predator just because if you got a little Native American girl killing a fucking Predator, Batman can do it too.
With a slingshot.
Right. Batman's got a quite varied utility belt, and Predator might not know what's on there till it's too late.
Yeah. You know what would be funny is if like they go back into like the Predator lore, and they're like the one that went to fight the Indian girl was like the runt of the litter.
It was a very primitive Predator. Like if you even look at the way it was designed and shit, its technology was not as up to date. Yeah. Like it was like a really primitive form of Predator.
But it still took out camps of men with muskets and axes.
It lifted up a grizzly bear over its head. It was still a fucking Predator.
But like the girl that couldn't kill the tiger, she killed him.
Yeah, mountain lion too strong. Fucking
I can barely catch a rabbit for dinner, but I'm gonna kill this predator.
I'm gonna take this fucking predator down. Hey, it's whatever. It's girl boss.
Yeah, if it was like the tribe killing the predator, I would have been like, all right, I could see that. Maybe the girl led the tribe and they all teamed up
if a bunch of
predator.
fucking Comanches like swarm the predator, I'd be like, yeah, he might die.
Yeah,
I mean that can kill you.
Yeah. The Three Amigos, they could have taken the Predator.
Right.
Yeah. Steve Martin.
Clint Eastwood in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Yes.
Make my
Yes, yeah. Oh, Spaceballs 2 coming out.
I saw that, yeah.
Bringing back Rick Moranis. What is the last thing this motherfucker did? Spaceballs 1?
Bringing back fucking Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
How old is this motherfucker?
He's 98 years old. He's going to be, what the fuck is the name of the Yoda thing?
Yogurt.
Yogurt.
Yeah. He's going to come back as Yogurt at 98. What the fuck?
That's amazing.
He won't even need makeup.
No. That gold makeup
Prop his ass up.
That gold makeup that they put on the first one, that he was Yodel, right?
Yodel.
Yeah. That's the shit that killed the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. That was like that asbestos-made paint. Like, it shined the same way when you really look at it. It was just gold. So I hope they use that stuff.
That man died for that role. He died for the Tin Man.
Imagine that.
Shitty fucking.
That's the worst.
Fucking hell, yeah.
But at least he didn't die for the fucking super permed lion in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah. That would be even worse. Yeah. Oh, I think the worst death I've seen is a show called Dead Like Me.
Yeah.
And she died from a toilet seat that killed her from a space station that blew up.
Yep.
So when she died, she had to go on because she died too sudden. So no heaven or hell. She was doing penance as a Grim Reaper. That's the basis of the show. And everybody just called her Toilet Seat Girl.
Yeah.
So even in death.
Yeah, if you die like
no respect. No respect whatsoever. Yeah. They didn't do that in Final Destination to anybody.
No, they didn't. Speaking of old, Ozzy Osbourne had his last concert last night.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, back to the beginning. Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath.
Is he like in his 90s?
He's in his 80s. He couldn't stand. They had him on a throne, like, in the middle of the stage. But they was, for the first time in, like, I don't know how fucking long, Black Sabbath reunited.
That's pretty cool.
Like, all of them.
It's starting to happen now. There's plenty of bands that are having their little final tour.
Their last hurrah.
Yeah. There's quite a few that have managed to age out, essentially.
Yeah. It was the last show.
Yeah, I know Elton John did his like 3 years ago with Disney Plus.
Yeah.
He filled up like a huge stadium. Disney Plus did it live on TV. It was like one of their first live musical things. I watched it. It was pretty great.
They streamed theirs live
He's a legend.
It was like Slayer, Gojira, Metallica. It was like a huge lineup. Tool.
Yeah. Everybody got like 20 minutes, but it was like all the top metal bands essentially.
Yeah, it was wild. Pantera. And then at night ended with like a 35-minute or 30-minute segment with Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
That's dope. So. Did you go watch it?
I watched the stream this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got up and watched it.
Okay.
It's crazy, man, you know? Like without I mean, Ozzy's one of the most legendary frontmen ever, but like without Black Sabbath, there'd be no heavy metal. It would not exist.
And really, you got to look at the lineup and go, well, all of these guys are right behind them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's like, oh, these are all major headliners, but they are not far behind.
Yeah, every band that played is at least over 20 years old.
Yeah.
Been playing for over 20 years.
Now, it's crazy because you guys listen to more heavy metal than I do. Like, is there a new, like, layer of up-and-coming heavy metal that are as iconic as these guys?
I mean, there's bands that are emerging that are good, but, like, I mean, Black Sabbath, with Black Sabbath being done now, that's, like, the godfather. That's the archetype. Yeah. I mean, the only there's bands that are still going that you could say carried the mantle of heavy metal. Like, you got Metallica still playing.
Sure.
Pantera still playing. Iron Maiden still does shows. Megadeth is still playing. Like, there still is legendary.
But that style of metal isn't really around anymore, but in the legacy bands that are still here. Metal has shifted, and hard rock as well has shifted a lot to incorporate multiple genres on top of it. So one of the biggest and debatable metal bands right now is Sleep Token.
Yeah, and you listen to it, and it sounds nothing like any other band.
Hints of rap, of jazz, of R&B, of deathcore, of metal. It's like they've fallen into metal as the category, because when they first came out, they were a little bit heavier, and the fans essentially were like, yeah, you're metal.
Yeah.
But when you listen to everything that they do, it's like, but no?
Yeah.
But sure?
Like, I listened to their...
You don't have anywhere else to put them in?
No. Right. I listened to their latest album. I was like, I guess.
Yeah, like...
Cat, you put this on
like
metal?
they go too hard to land in hard rock, but they don't have it so consistent that you would say metal, but it's like, you can't really...
You can't place them. It's a very unique, very niche musical group.
As somebody that makes music, I do love the fusion of music. But I do also like people carrying the torch, carrying the banner of like, this is the gold standard for heavy metal. This is the gold standard for alternative music. Like when, Nirvana was alive, they were it. For like that grunge.
They were the face of grunge.
They were grunge. Metallica, when they took the mantle over, like after some of these bands, because I grew up on more Metallica than anybody else as far as heavy metal.
So much hype behind them. That's the thing. Like when Metallica came out and was doing their thing, everybody was like, holy shit, have you heard Metallica? Like they were like the metal band.
Yeah.
Like they just emerged. Now, of course, that pissed Dave Mustaine off, and he'll constantly say that he's better than Metallica. But whatever, Dave.
Right.
They were like, it was like you'd see guys wearing like rap shirts and shit, like Coolio, whatever, Wu-Tang. But then you'd have a guy wearing a Metallica shirt, and he'd fit right in.
Yeah.
Like no one was like, oh, he's the weird metal dude. Like no. Metallica.
They were the mainstream of
heavy
metal, so to speak. Right? They carried the face. They had the look. The shirts were cool. The logo was cool.
Literally, heavy acts will refer to the Black Album as what we're trying to achieve our Black Album. That is literally the standard by which other hard acts try to measure what they're attempting to do.
You could put the Black Album as possibly one of the greatest, if not the greatest metal album of all time.
Yeah. I mean, because there are some genres of music that have kind of like fallen off over the years, right?
Yeah.
Like every so many years, like the boy band will come back, or every so many years, like there aren't really any more like
boy bands. I think are dead.
Yeah, they're
When's
like
the last boy?
I mean,
K-pop.
The Jonas Brothers.
Yep.
But like they're not a thing anymore.
No.
Nick did his own thing. Like I don't know of any boy bands now
that are still right. But
I don't think little girls. I don't even think little girls. Like I remember when I was growing up, all the girls were crazy about NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees,
right?
Hanson.
They're giving
I don't know where that is.
I think it's going to be a couple more years before it comes back out. I mean, you got K-pop and a couple of those, but
even they've faded.
I don't even think you can call things boy bands anymore. Yeah. Can you even do that? What do you mean?
Maybe.
What do you mean boy band?
They are.
What do you mean?
Gender neutral.
What
bands.
do you mean boy band?
Well, I mean, to be honest, they don't
gender neutral fucking things up there with no sex parts.
That would be the next thing. It'd be a mixed boy band essentially.
Just a giant gender neutral jellyfish up there, fucking making music.
Yum.
Playing every instrument with its tentacles.
It's like that movie with Chris Tucker.
Oh, what? Fucking
The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element.
The blue lady.
That blue lady had a hell of a voice.
She can sing, right? She can sing any color, paint her in any color. Yeah. She's fucking.
She's also 8 feet tall.
I think the opera singer that did the part was only like a 17-year-old or some shit
really?
like that.
Really?
There was only like one person that could actually sing the notes.
They made her look 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
And then she had the stones like inside of her.
Yes.
Pull them out. I was like, oh damn, bro, what the fuck?
That was a great movie.
That was a great movie. Very underrated sci-fi movie.
I mean, metal the way it was, even grunge the way it was, like there aren't new, at least that I can think of, grunge bands. You have the legacy grunge bands that are still out, and a lot of the nostalgia tours is happening at this point. But even if you do get a grunge sound, it's with something else.
Yeah. My favorite grunge bands weren't even Nirvana. Like Nirvana was good, and I get the following behind it, but like I wasn't crazy about Nirvana. Like I liked Bush. I liked Gavin Rossdale.
Who doesn't like Bush?
I mean, I don't.
Fair point.
I prefer shaved. But no, like Gavin Rossdale Bush, he was one of my favorite lead singers, and I liked Pearl Jam. Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam was great. Yeah, Pearl Jam was great. Would you consider Sublime punk or alternative?
Grunge? I don't know. Sublime's more like, oh my God, it's reggae-ish.
Mm-hmm. I don't want no Santeria.
Yeah. Like they got that like, Sublime's more of like a reggae thing, like a slightly stupid kind of sound.
Yeah.
Grunge, you have to be like really sad. Like it just sounds like organ.
Evanescence
is metal. When Amy Lee came out, she was like the whole goth queen thing. Yeah. And I got it. Like I saw the music video, "Wake Me Up." And I got the whole push, and I didn't know why all the goth girls worshipped her. And then I saw her live, like 2 years ago at Rockville up in Daytona.
Killed it.
Crushes it.
The best voice I've ever heard live.
That's awesome.
Out of all the shows I've been to, all the fucking live performers I've seen, Amy Lee has the most powerful voice I've ever heard.
Yeah, there was a generation
An angel
there
fall on earth.
That's awesome.
Like,
where engineering saved the voice on the album. She was not one of them.
Yeah.
She sounded better live than what they could really kind of put on the album.
Yeah, there's a few people like a Celine Dion and Adele, where it doesn't matter where you put them. You give them a microphone, and that voice is just gonna carry in a way that's like, goddamn.
Dude, the main event was
even Aaron from Stain, where like on the album, like you're like, man, he sounds good on the album.
And
then you hear him live, and you're like, Jesus
Holy
Christ,
shit, man. Yeah, Stain. If you have not seen Stained, go fucking see them. Aaron Lewis sounds fantastic, and Breaking Benjamin made a horrible decision. I thought Stain was the main.
Why'd you don't open for Stain?
Yeah,
that doesn't work.
I thought Stain was the main event,
right?
But then all of a sudden, Stain came out on stage, and I'm like, Stain is opening for Breaking Benjamin? Bro, you can't go from fucking Aaron Lewis to Breaking Benjamin. It was just, I didn't care when we left then. I was like, I already heard the
we heard what we came for.
I heard what I came for. I was like, Aaron Lewis blew me the fuck away. Now I got to listen to Breaking Benjamin.
I'm out. The way he closed it, like, oh, this is a bonus. They let his helper friend on stage. Is that what we're doing now?
Oh, man.
Dude,
and it's not that they said, like, comparable to other groups, they sound amazing.
Yeah.
But after Aaron Lewis, you're like,
it's a hard act to follow.
Sorry, guys.
It's a hard act to follow.
That's not what you do. You don't.
Did a lot of people leave?
No, but you might as well.
It was packed.
Yeah.
It was
a packed show.
It was packed just because the lineup. But it was just like
Stained was amazing.
Backwards.
As good as I thought Aaron Lewis was gonna sound, he was better.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's very few bands that like have been playing for as long as they have and still sound great. Aaron Lewis just has one of those voices.
Yeah.
He just that's why he does everything.
He's one of the guys that he also solo acoustic tours.
Yeah.
You don't solo acoustic tour if you can't fucking
sing.
Yeah. That's why I like watching those Tiny Desk videos on YouTube. I don't know if you've seen them. Like, that's where you could see, like, all right, is he really an artist?
Who's actually got it?
Who's got the skills?
Metal does like the one take things. They do like a thing where it's just the artist, a microphone, and a studio, and you have one take.
Yeah.
And they say, all right, go. And then you have a song and you do it, and you are what you are.
Yeah.
It's all that's there for people
I like
to see.
that. I really do like that. I don't like it to be over engineered in any aspect.
You see who has a really good voice and who doesn't.
Yeah, who's being fixed by the engineer and who can actually, if you go to the concert, deliver.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are some genres like EDM. I don't mind a little like electronic, like funky voice. That's a part of what you're doing here.
And
right?
let's be honest, you're going there not for the lyrics. You're going there for drugs. We know why you're at the show.
But
what? I'm going there for the water.
No. We know why you're going.
With metal, what you do have happen is some people use a heavy amount to backtrack because what they could put on the album for one song a day is fine, but they can't make it through a whole concert.
Right.
So not everybody, what they sound like on the album, when you go live, you're like, he's only doing the clean portion. Oh, because he can't maintain the actual harsh vocals. It's like, oh, because you haven't...
You would destroy your voice.
Asking Alexandria.
Yeah.
Their bassist has been apologizing.
Really?
Because of how bad they're on the Warped Tour right now, and their bassist has been apologizing for how bad they sound.
Yeah,
really.
It happens.
The guy has like some dude that hits the button for the screams.
Dang.
He can't do it anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, but he's telling people.
Yes. But
the bassist is telling me.
Sometimes.
The bassist is ratting him out.
The jig is up.
Sometimes it's, you got injured on tour because it happens. And you're already on tour. What are you going to do?
Right.
Some people, they never had proper technique.
So you damage your voice over time.
So, like, someone like Will Ramos, he can do it live from beginning to end, 2-hour-long concert, and it is the harshest vocals you will ever hear. It is.
Will Ramos is scary.
It is astounding. Where you're like, a human can sound like that. Jesus Christ!
He sounds like you resurrected some kind of warthog from hell and then slaughtered it.
Yeah, it's.
I don't understand.
Live on stage.
I do not understand. I do not understand.
But he's
how
one
a
of
human
those
being makes
where he's like,
that.
you can do it the right way. Yeah. And you'll be able to maintain, and I can talk perfectly fine afterwards. He's done things where they stuck cameras down his throat because they're like, we need to see what you're doing, that you're not damaging your vocal cords. But there's same thing with Stain. Stain, he does harsh vocals when he does it live.
He does,
and at the end, he's fucking crushing it because
Alex
doing it, taking the time and doing it correctly versus like. We just scream it on the album, but then, you can't maintain that live. Yeah. Like, you can only do that for so long a day before you start actually literally damaging your voice beyond the fact that it can't even get repaired.
Right. Like Alex the Terrible from Slaughter to Prevail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who, ironically, had a bare-knuckle boxing fight in Russia last night.
Yes.
He lost, but it was a close fight.
Well, he's had a couple fights now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just can't.
Yeah.
So... Also,
you're
a
rock star, dude. Stop.
Yeah.
You don't have to punch people.
We saw you wrestling a bear. You're good.
Yeah, you don't have to fight bare knuckle in Russia.
Similar like vocal coaching and vocal things that you do, like the guy like Michael Winslow? I just looked him up from like Police Academy.
Yes,
where these guys are throwing all these different sounds from their mouths.
Yes,
because I was trying to look up the MC. There's an MC that he did it for a while. He was like, he's doing the beats and rapping lyrics like almost simultaneously, and you're like, how the fuck is he doing this?
Yeah, and it quite literally is, because there's different, and you'll hear it, there's different sounds. So it's not just the vocal cords, it's the false folds, it's the upper glottal. It's literally you're tensing the muscles, and in some sounds you're twisting your vocal cords in almost like a figure 8. Kind of like spinning it around, and it changes the way the sound reverbs in your mouth and in your throat to change the sound. So when you're doing it correctly, you can continue doing it all day long. But if you're just like outright screaming and forcing your vocal cords, you're gonna blow them out in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
And 3 songs in, and then you can't even do the clean vocals anymore. And by the end of it, literally there was a whole series of bands that came out that basically all died after one tour.
Right.
Because they could do it for the album, but by the end of the tour, they
were shot.
They're literally like coughing up blood at the end of a show.
Hell yeah.
Because
that's metal, bro. That's metal.
They're doing it so incorrectly. But what happens is surgery, and then some of them literally like permanently lose their voice, can't speak properly anymore. It's like, there's a wrong way to do it, and a lot of people have done it the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah.
So his name was Rozelle. You guys ever hear him?
No.
After I'm gonna play a little something for you, like amazing. Like, it's a shame like somebody with like real talent like puts out an album, everybody's like, yeah, he's pretty cool, and then goes away. I'm like, amazing talent. I didn't even know this, that the other 2 MCs that did it first were Dougie Fresh and Biz Markie. And those are like golden era like MC rappers, but like they did it on a small level. Rozelle took this to another level. I actually remember there was a show called Superhuman with Stan Lee. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this.
Yeah. Yep.
They did an episode with Rozelle to see like how the fuck is he doing it.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty cool episode to see. But like, again, trained, did it his whole life, and properly tuned his vocal cords in order to do it.
It's patience. It's like, it's not feeling right. I need to stop.
Yeah.
I need to come about this from a different way. It's not just force your way through and hope for something good on the other side.
Yeah. How many people exude patience these days?
It's a rare thing.
We're in the land of the lost at the moment when it comes to that shit.
Kids, you can't sit still anymore. You have an iPad in your hand.
Fuck that. You got to slap them with a fucking technology right in the head. Like, take this, you little bitch.
Go outside, climb a tree, you little fuck.
That's right. And on that note, Thank you for joining us at the Sofa Kingdom Podcast. You know I look for these things.
Yeah.
I'm trying here.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Playing us a little Lorna Shore after this.
Yeah. There's some good shit out there to watch. Jurassic World, or is it Jurassic World?
Oh, go see that.
Superman.
Oh, go see that one.
Okay, Fantastic Four.
Go see that one.
Go see that one.
I'm going to see F1 today with Brad Pitt. Go see that one.
Barbie 2, because
No,
we need another one.
Really?
No.
What?
No.
The first one was trash enough. We don't need a second.
It doesn't
Barbie.
matter if it was trash. What matters is
It got
butts
successful.
and seats.
It was successful because of
And they will put out slop if
the
it puts
cast.
fucking ass in this.
But I watched it, and the entire time I watched it, frustrated with exactly what that movie was. I'm like, this is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit.